Results. After a regular meditation on June 3rd, Shadrach took me to a field of flowers in colors I had never seen before. I stood in front of a bare-chested man with a powerful yet gentle presence. He was sitting in a wooden chair. It later dawned on me that the man was Jesus. At the time, I just knew that the man was a leader.
You will see the impact of your work very soon. Keep watching the newspapers for your confirmation of all of this. It is imperative.
Later, as Shadrach and I parted, he said, "That is good, my dear. There is no more for you to do today. Watch the newspapers, as we have told you." I interacted with Milosevic daily, and with refugees, villagers, soldiers, resistance leaders, and others in towns and cities throughout Yugoslavia. The energetic eye, sometimes many of them, went to those places in my meditations. Visiting Milosevic taught me that interacting at a non-physical plane of existence could affect behavior at the physical level. Perhaps being open to love made continuing on the path he was on no longer tenable, because it was so out of alignment with the love he now felt. I don't have answers to the question of how this works, but the results were in the news. The front page banner headline of the New York Times on June 4th, 1999 announced, "Milosevic yields on NATO's key terms. 50,000 Allied troops to police Kosovo." I was elated and knew a miracle had occurred. I thought to myself, and out loud to the few friends who knew of this work, "I'm not crazy. It really worked." I think I walked on air for several days after that, feeling an inner warmth and joy, knowing something that I couldn't put into words, but that felt so right and real and good. The following day I was taken again to the field of flowers in colors that don't exist on earth, to speak with the man I now knew as Jesus. He helped me to understand why I had that indescribable knowing when he said,
Trust the world that you have experienced now in this wonderful and mysterious way. This is the world to trust and share as your own.
The mysterious something was that, in truth, the world is so much more than I had ever been taught. Some part of me now knew that miracles were not impossibilities. They were true responses to an undiscovered higher law. After this evidence that I was connecting to physical reality through meditation, I continued as before, balancing the earth and visiting Milosevic and the refugees. It felt like the number of refugees was endless, and I had been asked to meditate twice a day because of the need was so great. Much later, I sought proof that what I had experienced really happened, and I read the articles that mentioned Milosevic at the time. Prior to my visits, Milosevic was adamant about not allowing Allied forces into the country, and his change of mind came right at the time when I first met with him. Even though the Reverend Jesse Jackson, a Baptist minister, had visited him around that time, it was quite clear from the communications with Jesus and the guides that my meditations were critical to Milosevic's change of heart. After his announcement, the State Department, the Pentagon, and the White House expressed skepticism and surprise that Milosevic was authentic. It was also reassuring to note that Milosevic's behavior had changed as well. He was described as calm and respectful, in contrast to a previous visit. Not only had Milosevic surprised the West with his major shift, but he was also acting differently, enough for it to be reported in the newspaper. It appeared he had become more balanced, just like the land. I continued with the work for many weeks after that, with an increased sense of wonder at the seeming miracles of this earthly life. I accepted them, but I didn't know how they were possible from a physics standpoint. Looking back to that time now through the lens of a unified whole, my simple explanation is that we are all one in a huge, vibrationally choreographed dance. A miracle is simply cause and effect, like the one, all that is, itching in Yugoslavia and calling Connecticut to scratch it.